The French had been attacked at Verdun and they called upon British and Russian support to help. General Alexei Brusilov of the Russian Empire received this call and started making plans for an offensive. Along one of the largest fronts of the war, this was the Brusilov Offensive. Now, the Brusilov Offensive was Russia's call to arms. Now, since they were the only ones on the Eastern Front, they had to do it all themselves. So, what did they do? 400 miles. That's how long the front was. 400 painstaking miles. So that they couldn't be flanked and other sectors wouldn't be as defended. So, this all began with a 2-hour artillery barrage. It would be swift and accurate. And also it meant that the troops didn't have time to get their defences up or call in reserves. Now, once this artillery barrage had been finished, the cavalry came in, sweeping up as many Austro-Hungarians as they came across. Obviously Germans as well. They swept through Austro-Hungarian line after Austro-Hungarian line. Over 1 million Russian soldiers had been sent for this offensive alone. Now, General Alexei Brusilov wanted this operation to break the Austro-Hungarian Empire, which subsequently it nearly did. Had he continued the offensive for another week and continued on to probably Budapest, he would have crippled the Austro-Hungarian Empire. Alas, he didn't. The Austro-Hungarians were demoralised. Although their empire only 50 years old, they didn't want this war. They didn't want to fight it. And with 36 different languages being spoken, you could sort of see why it didn't want to exist. So, the offensive kept doing what it did. Kept cavalry charge after cavalry charge, trench raid after trench raid, until finally the Russians couldn't go anymore. Over 500,000 to 1 million Russian soldiers had been killed during the offensive, but 1 million to 1.5 million Austro-Hungarians had been killed, along with an extra 70... I can't remember the German number, I think it's something like 75,000. I'll probably correct myself in post. But this was the last massive offensive that the Russians would do. Obviously, the next year, those who know World War I know what happened, which I will talk about on the channel. But the Russians had done all they could to support the French. They were now dug in, back to trench warfare, fighting an enemy that could have been killed, given another week or two. But alas, that was the Brusilov Offensive, planned and commanded by General Alexei Brusilov himself. Let me know what you're thinking about the Brusilov Offensive in the comments below. Like and subscribe. Well, definitely like, so then I know people do like the content, and subscribe if you do not want to miss a single upload from this channel. I post on Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Sundays, and I'll speak to you guys next time for another World War I history video.